Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup that I had in my collection that I completely forgot about. So I was going through my collection and I said, geez, I forgot about all these products. And I said, I'm going to do a dedicated video to them. Some of these products are not terribly old. For instance, the Benefit Porefessional Super Setter Setting Spray. This I ordered when it first came out. Most of this has been around a little while. So this concept is for a video is not new. Other YouTubers have done this style of video as well. People such as Allie Glines, Raw Beauty Christie, etc. Let's get started. My skincare is done. And so I have everything from primer to lip products. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with the eyes first. I haven't used some of these things in quite a while. So I'm going to start with my brows. And the first thing I'm going to use is this brow pencil. This is the Wander Beauty Frame Your Face Micro Brow Pencil. And this is in the shade Taupe. I have had this for quite a while. Let me show you a little, oh, I think it's drying out because it just snapped right off. And that's how long I've had this. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that right there. It's a nice taupey shade. So what I'm going to do is outline and fill in the brows, and then we're going to go in with a clear brow gel. As I use these products, I'm going to get sort of reacquainted with them and my thoughts about them. And we'll determine, you know, whether or not after today they're going to stay in my collection. It's a bit of a dry pencil. I'm not sure if that's because I've had it in my drawer for a while or if it's just generally a drier pencil. But I have so many micro pencils that I love, such as of course, the Benefit Precisely My Brow, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I mean, those are all top of the line for me. And I have all of those in my collection, and I use them interchangeably. So, you know, this one I don't necessarily need to keep in my collection, but I'm just sort of getting reacquainted with all these products just to recall what I thought of them. It's a bit of a stiffer pencil, even though it's retractable. But, I mean, it seems to have filled in the brows nicely. Yep, there you go. Brows are done. This is definitely dried out. So I think what I'm going to do is just declutter this one today. Okay, now for clear brow gel, I have the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt in Gel Mascara in clear. And I've had this for a while. And I think I might have only used this once or twice. This is what the wand looks like. It's a little bit different than most of the wands on the other brow gels that I use. They're much smaller than this one. That could be why maybe I haven't used it in a while. It's probably wasn't one of my favorites. Yeah, I don't think this is doing anything. This might be another thing that leaves my collection today. It's just really not doing much. Oh, and now I can feel the product on the brows. So we'll see. We'll see if this wears well, keeps the brows in place. I'm really having to struggle to get some gel on my brows here. Maybe that's why I haven't used it so much and forgot about it. My two favorites, of course, are the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and my new favorite is the NYX Brow Glue. That thing is fantastic. You think it's gonna make your brows real crunchy, but it doesn't. It makes them so soft, but it keeps all the hairs in place. Okay, brows are done, and I think that brow gel is also going to leave my collection today. So then to start off, I'm going to put just a dot of concealer. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer in Light Cool 1C, the very lightest shade they have. And I'm just going to put a dot on each of the lids. And I'm going to use this again as my concealer. I have not used this in a hot minute. So I'm going to grab my little brush. This brush is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It's got a big wide head. I don't know if you can see that. And I love it for blending out concealer or shadow primer on the lids because it gets the job done so quickly. And even though this is a cool shade, it still has a tinge of yellow to it. And that could be a reason why I don't use it that often, because I am a cool toned person and I tend to use more cool tone complexion products. Okay, so there you go. That's blended in. And then I have from Laura Mercier, I have a few of her Caviar sticks, and I just don't use them as often as I should. They work really well. And I just forget about using a cream product on the lid. So I thought today I would pull this one out. This is in the shade Cashmere. And it's a matte shade. And I'll show you a little swatch. There it is right there. And I'm just going to sort of apply this to the natural crease and then also on the lid. So smooth, so creamy. This one here is from Rare Beauty. This is her eyeshadow brush, number 200. Is this Rare? No, sorry, that's Fenty Beauty. And I like the shape of it, and I think it works really well to blend out cream shadow. And although the Cashmere shade looks a little pink, it is really basically a transition shade. Brush blends it out so well. Nice. That brush just, again, this is the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow, number 200 eyeshadow brush. I use it just strictly for my creams. Okay. Then I'm going to go into the Colourpop Star Wars Mandalorian palette. When this came out, I saw it and I said, oh, I've got to have it because I love olive shades. And where I have brown eyes, it just really accents the brown eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is grab some powder, because I find if you put a powder on over a cream product, it's going to skip and it's not going to blend well. So I like to apply a little powder because powder blends better with powder. So like substances blend better together. And I'm just going to use this brush here. This is from Real Techniques. This is their number 23 in the pink with the pink handle. And I'm just going to pick up, I'm going to use my CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instant Wrinkle Blurring Pressed Powder with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C complex in the shade Translucent. And that's what that looks like. I'm just going to take a little of this and just dust it on so that the shadows blend better over the lids. And again, it just kind of tends to lighten everything up on the lid. Okay, so now the shadows should blend well over there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go into that Mandalorian palette, and we're going to use that CoverGirl powder later on to set the foundation and concealer, all the complexion products. Okay. I'm going to go in, I think, over that pink with this brown shade right here. It's like a mid-tone brown. It's called Just Like a Tattooing. I did not see this particular episode, so I'm not sure what that's referencing, and I'm just knocking off any excess off the brush, and I'm just concentrating it on the outer corner and then blending it in. Blending it right in the natural crease and then bringing it up a little higher. And if I didn't say it before, all my skincare was done before I began. The only thing I haven't done is primer, and we'll do that together in a little bit. That's pretty, that brown. Okay, now I'm going to go in with something, a smaller brush, and I'm going to use this. This is the Luxie 237 blending brush. Just a cute little one with like a periwinkle handle. And I'm going to take this mid-tone olive green in the shade Babyface, and I'm just going to darken out the outer V with this. And I'm just basically stamping it right here in this outer V. And the reason why I'm doing my eyes first is because there does tend to be a little bit of fallout with the Colourpop shadows, in my experience. You can see as I tap off the waves of shadow. And again, I'm just sort of stamping it there and then slowly blending it in. Sort of bringing it down towards the lash line and just creating that little V with the actual point of the V going in an upward motion, because that's what's best for hooded eyes. There you go. Okay, then on the lid, it's another Luxie brush. This is a Luxie Small Shader number 245 with the pink handle. And I'm going to pick up that shimmery shade called Sipping Soup right here, the shimmery olive, and that's going to go all over the lid. And we may have to foil this, but I'm hoping we don't. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And I like to bring it up just because I have that hooded lid. I like to bring this up just a little higher, sort of to meet the darker green here. Like so. I think that's pretty. Okay, now, I have two liners here I noticed in my collection that I just haven't used all that much. This one is the Hourglass 1.5 millimeter mechanical gel eyeliner in bronze. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Green Lights metallic and matte green eyeliner. And I'm going to take my little eyelining brush. This is the Amoda Studio brush, but there's no number or anything on it. It's just that little pointed little brush, and it has that matte, it has that black sort of raised design on the handle. And I think what I'm gonna do is pick up some of that color called Babyface. I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with the right eye. And I'm just going to start right here under under the lower lash line. And then when I get to the corner of the eye, I like to bring it up a little bit so that it sort of meets the shadow. And then I'm going to go into the shade again called Just a Tattooin', that pretty mid-tone brown. And I'm just going to apply a little bit on top just to sort of blend it together so it sort of matches the color that's in the crease. Now, as far as liner goes, I think I'm going to hold off on using the Hourglass, and I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury. I think what I'm going to do is use this little metallic green, and I'll show you on the back of my hand, that metallic green. I think I'm going to use that on the inner corners under the eyes and use the darker green in the outer corners. So let's see how we do here. And then I'm going in with that same brush and just sort of blending it. And then I'm going to take this dark green, and I find I don't like to use something dark in the waterline because it closes my eyes in. So instead, what I'm going to do with this actually is I'm going to just trace the outer corner on the top lid. I don't like to do a full liner on the top lid because, as I said a little while ago, I have hooded lids and it just makes that mobile lid disappear. So if I can smudge just a little of this on the outer third of the lash line, and then again going in with that same Moda angled liner brush, and I'm just blending it out. And basically what that does is it just gives the outer, it just gives the eye a little bit of definition, but yet it's not a full liner. All right, and there you go. So now I want to apply some mascara. Like I said about the Hourglass, I'm going to test this out, and then maybe I'll do another one of these videos in a few weeks, and I'll keep this and test this out again, because I just find it just didn't, I didn't really need it for this purpose. So, all right, mascara. So what I'm going to do is curl the lashes. Now, I've told you this in other videos about my crazy lashes. This eye here, the lashes are a little longer and they curve a little more upward. These lashes come sort of out and then curve a tiny bit, and they are a little shorter. So what I do is I curl the lashes only on this eye just to give them a further upsweep in the hopes to make them look a little longer. And I don't need to curl these. And then for mascara, I have the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean Mascara. Now, I got this when it first came out. I think I maybe used it once, and I haven't used it since. So I'm not sure what I think of it. Okay. This is a rubber wand, rubber bristle wand. A little hard to say there. And I'm not sure I'm a fan of these that are this size. Let's give it a try. And I'm just going to do the upper lashes for now. After this, we're going to work on the complexion. And then I'll use some of this on the lower lashes at the end. Wow, this is like, yeah, this is for someone who wants a totally natural lash. Maybe this is all they wear. Yeah, this is not doing it for me, and that's probably why I have not used it. Oh my God, I'm making a mess. And then the reason why I'm making a mess on my lid is because of this wand. And that's why I haven't used it. Now, besides the fact that I've got a mess on my lid, the majority of the color is at the base of the lashes, and these tops of the lashes have like hardly anything on it. All right, well, I'm gonna make the best of it, and I'll clean that lid up at the end. Wow, okay, I'm not putting any more on than that because it made such a mess. Because it deposits so little mascara on the lashes, it makes such a mess on the lid. So that's definitely leaving my collection today. I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and just clean up all around the eye area. Okay. And once that mascara dries, I will flake it off later on before we finish the look. Okay, let's go into primer. So for primer, this came out, Benefit launched the Porefessional Hydrating Primer, and it was hyped up, and this I ordered one on my own when it first came out, and then I did get one subsequently in my BoxyCharm box. And I put that one in my giveaway drawer, and now I have this one here. Let's go into this primer. Again, Porefessional Hydrating Primer. And, okay, it's just this sort of beigey kind of primer. It's supposed to be more hydrating. It's supposed to blur pores. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how my skin feels after using that. I don't remember what I thought of that. Maybe I felt it was too drying for my skin. I don't know. Okay, let's go into foundation. I have the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It's been around for ages. And I have mine in the shade 3. So I'm just going to pump some on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush. This is the Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush, like so. And this is a sort of runny foundation, and that's what it looks like there on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna pick that up, and I can see that I'm gonna need more of this. So I'm just going to apply it. This might be a little light for me right now where it's summer. I'm a little bit darker, but we shall see. Oh, done. I wanted to mix something with this. I forgot all about this. I have this Soap & Glory Glow and Do It Skin Illuminating Base with energizing Lindera root extract. So I want to squeeze a little bit of this out and pump out some more foundation because I like having sort of a luminous glow to my skin. This is actually really nice. I just have other things I've been using, and so this I might put back in rotation. And again, another pump. And then I'm just going to use the back of my hand, my finger, just to blend that all out. Okay. Put a little more on this side so that it gets the luminosity. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now remember, this is Luminous Silk. This isn't going to be a full coverage foundation. Just being careful to go around those brows. And then taking the rest off the back of my hand. This is really more of a light coverage foundation. I think the reason why I don't use this so much is because it's such a lightweight foundation. Okay, let's go on to concealer. Going back with that Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. Just gonna put that right under the eyes. And then I'm going to use my damp sponge. I don't like to use a damp sponge to blend foundation because I don't have the patience to get it all blended in. And it's such a light coverage anyway that I prefer to use a brush first. But for concealer, I don't mind using a sponge. Just blending that in. And then I like to go over, even using the flat side, and just go over and make sure that foundation is blended well. Okay. And I think the reason why I didn't use this so much is because of the yellow tone. It's supposed to be a cool tone, you know, but it does still have a bit of yellow there. Now, before we powder the face, I have this Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick. I've had this for a while. This is in the shade Light Medium. And I don't use the highlighting side. It's just basically a cream sort of beigey stick. I don't think it has any shimmer. Yeah, there's no shimmer. I don't know if you can even see that. The highlight portion has no shimmer whatsoever. It's just a matte sort of shade, which I don't use. And I've had this for a very long time. So I do want to use this contour side just to see, refresh my memory on how I feel about it. And I'm just going to put a little of it here to contour. Just a little bit. And this is the Real Techniques stippling brush. And this is like a larger stippling. No, I'm sorry. Medium stippling brush here. And I'm just going to sort of blend that in. Yeah, I think I've had this for far too long. This might be leaving my collection today. It's sort of a stiff contour wand. I don't know if that's because it's been sitting in my collection for a little while or if this is how it is, but this one is definitely leaving my collection today. I have a couple of other ones that I like to use. Okay, so that's done. Let's set the face. Again, we're going back in with the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. I'm going in with my Complex Culture Plush Powder Brush. This is so incredibly soft and just fluffy. So we're going to go in with this brush. I'm going to pick up some powder. Now, keep in mind this is a white powder, so you want to just be careful and not apply too much, because what will happen is it might give you a white cast. I never really tested that out, but it, you know, my guess is it will give you a white cast. And I'm just setting everywhere. I don't usually contour my nose. I just find it looks artificial when I do it, so I prefer not to do it. I just want to make sure my cheekbones look a little more sunk in. So I like to just do under the cheekbones. This goes on well. It seems to blend well. The only concern I would have is maybe that it causes a little white cast. I'm not having my picture taken today, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, let's move on to bronzer and blush and highlight. So for bronzer, Samantha March came out with her collaboration with Ofra. This is from her first collaboration. This is her bronzer duo in River. And I'm going to take my bronzer brush. This is the Shayna B Miami. This is technically her brush blush, but I love the size of it for bronzer. And I'm just going to mix the two. This shade is more matte. This side is more shimmer. And I'm just going to mix the two together. And then I'm going to flake it off. Tap the back of my hand, make sure I get extra off. And then I'm going to go right over where I have the contour. And this time I'm going to apply it not only in that area, but I'm also going to apply it on my forehead, across my nose, and around my chin. And I like to use just a sort of stamping motion because I really don't want to disturb anything underneath. Ofra products are dynamite. That's probably an old term that nobody uses anymore. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow Blush in pink. That's what that looks like. And that, I know it doesn't exactly match the eye look, but this is the only blush in my collection that I really have forgotten about. So I really, it doesn't exactly go with the eye look, but I'm just going to put a touch on. I'm not going to, you know, go ham with the blush because I really just want a little bit of a pink blush. And I'm using an Estee Lauder blush brush. And I'm just giving my cheeks just this real, I'm going in circular motions, and I'm just giving it this real sort of rosy tone. And then I'm going to go over, take my sponge, the flat end, and I'm just going to go over that, just like this, and make sure everything is blended. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look. Everything looks pretty even. Now for highlighter, I have a bunch of over highlights, but I do tend to rotate them a lot. But the one highlighter that I rarely use for some reason is from Fenty Beauty, and this is her Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter in Metal Moon, which is like almost a pure white. And this is, in looking at my collection, this is the only highlighter that I really have forgotten about using. I got this one in a BoxyCharm. So I'm just going to give my face a little bit of a highlight and we'll see how it goes. And I'm going very easy with the highlighter. I'm picking it up on the brush, dusting it off on the back of my hand. And again, just going easy with the highlighter. So there we go. Now, so that's bronzer, blush, and highlighter. Now, I want to set the face with this. This is the Benefit Porefessional Super Setter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. And I bought this when it first came out. I maybe used it once, and I haven't used it since. Let me see. Oh yeah, see, the mist is so fine. No fragrance whatsoever, which is incredible. Oh, I can barely feel it on my face. I don't know why I haven't used this. That spray is so incredibly fine. Wow, that is nice. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little spoolie brush and I'm going to clean up the mascara on the upper lids here. Just get that flaked right off. And I think what I'm going to do is try and go in with another light coating of mascara on the top lashes and then put a little on the bottom lashes now that the face is done. Try to let these lashes stand out just a little bit. The eyes are done, the face is done. I'm going to take the headband off because it's giving me a headache. Okay, now for lips, I pulled out the products that I have not used in a long time. I found that I have one MAC lip liner left, and mainly because I found them to be, where they're a sharpenable pencil, I found them to be very dry at times. So the pencil I have is in the shade Soar. Okay, and I'll give you a little swatch of this. It's like a mid-tone mauve shade right there. I'm gonna use some of that to line my lips. Yeah, this is a dry pencil. And it's the only MAC pencil that I actually still own. It's a little stiff, it's a little draggy. Yeah, not a fan of these. For lipstick, I have an Urban Decay lipstick. This is the Urban Decay, I used to be called the Vice lipstick. And this is in the shade Heartless, which looks like that. And then I'll show you in the tube. It's just a really pretty pink. And I'm going to, now, normally I would probably wear a nude with this look, but because this is the lipstick I've had that I've really forgotten about using, unfortunately, my nudes I usually do tend to wear more. So this lipstick is going to be closer to my blush shade, actually. It's a really pretty shade. It's a comfort matte, but it's still got a bit of firmness. I don't even know if that's the right word that I want. It's still quite, feels a tad bit drying when you're putting it on. And we'll see how it feels when I wear it. And then for gloss, I have from Ofra Cosmetics the lip gloss in Golden Rose. I've been using my Tower Beauty, I've been using KKW, I've been using other lip glosses, and I haven't been using my Ofra lip glosses. So I pulled this one out. This is the shade, again, Golden Rose. And again, I know the lip doesn't really match the eyes, but again, this was about products that I'd forgotten about. You know, I wanted to be sure and just pull those products out. There we go. So that is the lip gloss, and I'm not sure why I don't use these. These are great. They have a great formula. Okay, I'm gonna take one last look in the mirror. I'm disappointed with the lashes, but there's not much I can do about that. I've got a little bit here. I mean, that's such a pretty look. I'm just gonna take my sponge and just really make sure those face products are all really nice and blended. There. And there we go. That's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gives you inspiration to go through your collection and pull out some products that you've forgotten about and give those a try. As I said, a few things are going to be leaving my collection, but all in all, I'm actually quite happy with the look that I came up with. You know, the eyes came out pretty. I love olives on the eyes. The blush and the lipsticks, of course, don't match the eyes, but I'm very happy with how everything turned out. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're advised of all my future uploads. And give this video a thumbs up because that really helps out my channel. And I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.